Click the bell, turn on all notifications, and subscribe for around-the-clock WWE news in real time. The home of the most consistent and dedicated breaking news in WWE, Seanzviewent, is here for you. Like, comment, and share today.
It's morning. You know what time it is. You know it is time to bake and wake. And it is time for the sake of the future of the show. Please click the link below in the comment section of the video in the pinned comment. Click the link right now to help save and secure my future so it is safe to the delight of each and every one of you. Now let's get into the breaking news that are surrounding online right now at this hour, at this time. Remember to become a channel member. Remember to comment, like, to the tune of all the hustle, all the blood, sweat, and tears I put into this every single day for each and every one of you as we are on this journey on YouTube. Now, according to sources, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, we got some pretty big reports, some pretty backstage reports going on this morning as a huge announcement from the company, a huge announcement from the WWE. As the WWE announces trio of Olympians as Performance Center recruits. WWE is always on the hunt for new talent, and now the company has brought in 3 athletes with Olympic pedigree and hope to mold them into being future WWE superstars. Now, they have all joined WWE, and on X or Twitter, the WWE NXT account shared a photo of the 3 signings. Are we looking at the future Stone Cold, the future Brock Lesnar, and the future John Cena? Are we looking at the future right before our very eyes? Will they be able to reach out and grab that brass ring? Will these 3 stars be able to be the next Hulk Hogan? Will they be able to be the next Ultimate Warrior? Will they be able to be that explosive personality? Or will the WWE powers that be mold them into the fine athlete that they should be? Or will creative have a chokehold on them where they're just backstage flipping pancakes? Or they're twiddling their thumbs? Or will they be future endeavored? Will they be future released by the WWE? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. The WWE can't keep relying on the Undertakers and the Stone Colds and the Rocks of the world, the John Cenas of the world. They're lucky that Randy Orton is still able to be there on a weekly basis. You know, when you're in your 40s, that's when it's time to start winding down. Most wrestlers retire by the time they're in their 40s. But a lot of the athletes on the roster right now are in their 40s and they're competing at a high level. The LA Knights, the CM Punks of the world, the Randy Ortons of the world. They got more wrestlers on that roster in their late 30s and 40s than they do their 20s and their teens. So that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. The WWE, I say this all the time, they need to look towards the future and they need to build the next big name, the next big thing, so to speak, in the WWE. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, it's very vital to like and comment on the video. Also, released WWE stars. Now, we all know over 2 weeks ago, the WWE released some 17 superstars from the roster. Well, a released WWE star actually showed up and competed at Evolve. Joe Coffey and Mark Coffey defeated a tag team. This is despite the fact that Gallus, which also included Wolfgang, were released from the WWE. And again, you're going to start seeing these released talents show up at different companies, different organizations, different wrestling promotions. Who do you think will gain the most out of their release from the WWE? A WWE fan has channeled Io Sky, the WWE Women's World Champion, has been channeled because during their graduation celebration And their ceremony, this particular guy, this particular person, came out to the tune of Io Sky's theme music at graduation. You're starting to see now WWE be intertwined into weddings, into celebrations, into parties, into graduations. You are seeing the popularity. You are seeing the WWE right before your very eyes, not only on television, but also outside of TV. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. Vince Russo and good old JR Jim Ross. We got a pivotal update. Vince Russo shares a heartfelt Jim Ross post after revealed that Jim Ross has cancer. But not just cancer. You see, everyone say, well, Jim Ross, he's got cancer again. Well, yeah, you can go through cancer multiple times, sadly and unfortunately. Jim Ross battled, skin cancer, and he beat it successfully. And now we are all hoping that Jim Ross can beat this colon cancer, which obviously to a degree or more, can be a lot worse than skin cancer. I think it's all about the timing and how you treat it. Breaking news on the Bella twins, primarily Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella to pay $3,500 a month plus $200,000 this year in child support after her split from her ex. As we all know, Nikki Bella was in a relationship. She was with a guy. She was with a man. They were together. They were loving, but now they are no longer together. And now Nikki Bella to pay $3,500 a month plus $200K this year. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on that. Nikki Bella also looking for a return to the WWE. So obviously these kids are going to be very well off as it concerns their futures and in this life. We got breaking news on the Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt Hardy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are hearing from the Motor City Machine Guns. It's time we face the Hardy Boys. Are we going to get the Hardy Boys versus the Motor City Machine Guns in the WWE for the first time ever? Or will it be under the direction of TNA Wrestling, who here would like to see that go down? Also breaking news, as a massive legend, a WWE Hall of Famer undergoes neck surgery. Hulk Hogan undergoes neck fusion surgery so he can move around and be a lot more comfortable. Does this mean that the Hulkster is raring and ready for a return, a rare and roaring return for the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, to the WWE? Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on that. Hulk Hogan underwent neck surgery on Wednesday, and he tells TMZ Sports that it was a little fusion procedure to help him feel better. And Hulk Hogan says this about him being booed and people give him the thumbs down when he shows up at events or WWE. He says, I'd rather be booed. I'd rather get a reaction and response than to be forgotten altogether. People are still reacting. People are still booing. People are still giving me that reaction. And again, as they say, sometimes a reaction is better than hearing nothing, than mute, than silence. Because if you start hearing that, there's something wrong. There is something very wrong at that stage. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers. Batista, the Animal. Batista, we haven't had an update on the Animal Batista in a very, very long time. The WrestleMania headliner, the former world champion, the man that has won the Royal Rumble. Batista, what is going on with him these days? Well, Batista is set to star in the Trap House action film, as Batista is doing pretty good for himself in Hollywood. Dreams becoming reality. Zelina Vega on winning gold same day that her husband returned. And as we all know, Zelina Vega is the reigning WWE Women's United States Champion of SmackDown. The Native American Tatanka will be returning to a WWE ring at Saturday night's main event. Yes, the Native American Tatanka will show up once again in the WWE. Released WWE star announces a new ring name. Ladies and gentlemen, recently released WWE NXT superstar Jakara Jackson is embarking on a new chapter in her professional wrestling career, unveiling her new ring name as she prepares to enter the free agent market. The performer will now be known as Morrissey. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on that. WWE legend Lillian Garcia will also be returning at Saturday night's main event as she says, "I'm back on the mic once again." Lexis King calls AEW a developmental ground for WWE. The latest as it concerns Joe Hendry returns home to support Hearts at her castle. It just writes itself as Matt Cardona, the former Zack Ryder, pitches a reality show with Chelsea Green. 5 years free. How Matt Cardona built a wrestling empire outside of the WWE, the former Zack Ryder. Now, we've been hearing for years about Zack Ryder returning, coming back to the WWE, but it never happens. It never goes down. It never materializes. That plan has not happened. We've been hearing about it. We've been reading about it. We've been seeing the headlines, but we haven't actually had the chance to actually notice Zack Ryder actually return to a WWE ring. I think he's doing so well for himself. He's been so successful outside of WWE, kind of like what Cody Rhodes did. Cody Rhodes made himself a marketable name. He made himself a household name outside of the WWE, so then the WWE viewed him as more impactful, as more important at the end of the day. Also, speaking about that, Willow Nightingale re-signs with AEW. Also, CM Punk clarifies stance on wrestling in Saudi Arabia. The 3 real-life married couples in the WWE Hall of Fame and 3 who will join them. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers. A new wave of DLC released for WWE 2K25 for all you game fanatics out there that love the WWE franchise. Ilana Black adds another indie date to her calendar after her WWE exit, and that being the former Cora Jade. Rhea Ripley calls out toxic behavior in the women's wrestling fandom. Zelina Vega is ready to take the WWE Women's U.S. title matches outside of the WWE. Will championships be decided outside World Wrestling Entertainment? Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on that. The Motor City Machine Guns on their TLC match getting snubbed, canceled from WrestleMania 41. It showed us, and it showed that the fans cared. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers. The risk-reward factor is out of whack. Bischoff addresses high-risk stunts in wrestling. Whether that be AEW or TNA, where they seem to do that a little bit more often than the WWE. See, the WWE, they take calculated risks, is what they do. Also, remember Legacy. Remember Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase, and Randy Orton. Remember that team Legacy? Well, Ted DiBiase Jr., the son of Ted DiBiase, the WWE Hall of Famer, could be facing well up to 45 years in prison. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on that. It doesn't look so good for Ted DiBiase, the son of the Hall of Famer, Ted DiBiase, the father. And it looks like the son of Ted DiBiase could be going up to jail for 45 years. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. So that is one person that you won't be looking for to return to a WWE ring once again. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers coming out this morning on the Brash and the Brazen. Ninja Max viral wrestling moment. Athleticism meets entertainment. Also, everything on the menu with Braun Strowman coming to the USA Network later in 2025. Despite the fact that Braun Strowman has been released from the WWE, he still has something to do with WWE and obviously the USA Network. With Logan Paul versus Jey Uso set for WWE Saturday night's main event with the world title on the line, A lot of people are still talking about the fact that Jey Uso wasn't even on Backlash. He wasn't good enough to defend the title at Backlash. Even if it would have been a non-title match, the feeling is that Jey Uso should have been at WWE Backlash last weekend. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions, as that is still making the rounds online. Also, ladies and gentlemen, coming through here. Also making the rounds. Indy Hartwell dominates TNA in-ring debut with a crushing victory on Impact. Yes, TNA's total nonstop action. Indy Hartwell shows why she will be the next successful woman in the industry. Congratulations to Indy Hartwell. Also, RVD Rob Van Dam defends Joey Janela and GCW against claims of drugging Sabu before his retirement match. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. Again, there was a feeling that Sabu might have been killed, that Sabu might have been set up. Maybe something was put in his drink, maybe his food. I mean, there's all this speculation, all this gossip. There's all these things going on. Did somebody have it in for Sabu? Again, projection. I don't know what the hell's going on, but we all know. All we know is Sabu is no longer here. Sabu is no longer with us, and I just can't help to think the only one that knows about how and what went down, and the only one that knows the best is Sabu, and he's not able to say that. Also, the WWE Blue Brand SmackDown will be tonight for May the 16th. They confirmed matches, start time, and how to watch. TNA adds not one, but 2 new matches to TNA Under Siege. Steve Maclin sidelined with a skull fracture ahead of TNA Under Siege title defense. A skull fracture that cannot make for a good day. Trick Williams shakes up TNA Impact with a bold call-out of one Joe Hendry. Ariana Grace demands match with Tessa Blanchard at TNA Under Siege. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on that. Also, CM Punk has been replaced. What is going on there? Why has the best in the world, CM Punk, been replaced? Well, CM Punk replaced by Seth freaking Rollins in the WWE Night of Champions promo. And there seems to be a lot of controversy, a lot of talk about the CM Punk Saudi Arabia thing. And with Jim Ross revealing colon cancer, and that's very sad, very tragic, very horrible. We do wish the best and well for good old JR Jim Ross. It can't be said enough throughout this video. Once again, another huge update about Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder. Matt Cardona earns TNA International Championship shot after a thrilling triple threat victory. WWE NXT Nikita Lyons steps into TNA with a controversial finish and a tag team showdown. Also, ladies and gentlemen, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, the most electrifying man in all of entertainment, the final boss, dominates Kids' Choice Awards nomination. Again, former WWE star Ted DiBiase Jr. facing again 45 years in prison again. But here's an update. We already heard the prison part. Well, here's an update. This is why you can't shut off Show and View in the first 5 to 10 minutes, because the news will get more noteworthy. It will get bigger. It will get better. It will get more shocking. For alleged multi-million-dollar fraud scheme. So that is why Ted DiBiase Jr. is facing up to 45 years in jail, in prison. Also, ladies and gentlemen, Paige blasts wrestling news outlets for clickbait headlines. I love it when the dirt sheets state what I say and spin it. Then do a headlines just to clickbait, just to garner views from people who don't read beyond the headline, and causes everyone to hook shit for no reason. Super cool. While Saraya didn't specify which article or headline set her off, her frustration comes after making several media appearances where her statement sparked backlash on social media. Tony Khan does victory lap over AEW Dynamite's big ratings win over WWE NXT. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on that, because this is where it all happens. AEW Dynamite pulls bigger numbers than WWE NXT for the May 14th episode. Mariah May's Out of My Cage post sparked speculation about her release, her future in AEW? Is she WWE bound for Mariah May? Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. AEW has issued a statement on good old JR Jim Ross's cancer battle. Jim Ross claims that he is in AEW to get his money. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the most we have for you right now. We are going to have plenty more throughout the day, like we do every day, throughout the day, throughout the night, to the delight of each and every one of you. Remember to subscribe, become a channel member today, because if it weren't for you, there would be no Sean's View. Later. What are your thoughts and your comments on everything WWE, AEW, and TNA? Keep it locked on to the reigning source in WWE.